on the surface. Again, that would make you think, oh, I've got to travel a bit slower now.
Okay.
Okay, and that's where you'd be looking at your mirrors regularly to make sure you keep an update on what is behind as well as what's in front. Yeah. Now, with the emergency stop, hopefully you wouldn't have to make one, but you know we do have to make them occasionally. It's unplanned, so we need to know how to do it. So we've got here, we don't use the mirrors because there isn't time to do it. What the idea is to stop the car as quickly as you can before you hit the child who's just run out into the road.
Right.
Yeah? And a quick reaction required, so your right foot has to go from the gas, or wherever it is, to the brake, and a firm, nice, quick, firm, progressive push on the brake until the car stops.
All right.
Yeah, and you need to feel as though you're going forward when you in your seat. You want that sort of pressure on the brake, nice and quick and firm. You gotta keep your hands on the steering wheel, nice and firm, and don't steer it. Otherwise, you might lead into a skid. You need to apply the clutch just before the car stops, just so
apply the clutch.
Well, push the clutch right down just before you stop. That should prevent the engine stalling.
Right.
That's not as important as getting a quick reaction and stopping the car, because you don't want to kill the child as opposed to not stall. And then once you've stopped, you have to secure the car, right, as you normally do, handbrake in neutral, and then you have to do all-round observation around the car, make sure that you can see everywhere around the car, and then you should be able to move off. The last thing you do before you move off is to just check in your between the head restraint and your pillar, the blind spot. One thing I didn't mention is once you've applied handbrake and the neutral, you then prepare the car to go, but don't go anywhere until you've done your all-round observation.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Now, let's mention skidding. If your car does go into a skid, for example, in this diagram here, if the car slews that way, then you still want to go.
What way?
If it slews to the right, yeah, so the back goes out that way, and the front looks like in that direction, then you need to steer the wheel in the direction that you still want to go, which is you steer the wheel to the left, towards me, in other words, so they're pointing that direction, which would help to straighten the car up.
So if the car's skidding to the left, I steer to the left, yeah?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, and stopping distances, if you're going about 20 miles an hour, say along here, you should be able to stop with good reaction, should be able to stop in about 3 car lengths along here. And if you 30 miles an hour, which is the speed limit along here, then you need to double that to stop with just 6 car lengths. So you can see just 10 miles an hour faster, and you're already doubling your stop time, your stop distance. So it's really important at driving at the appropriate speed, and that if you do need to stop, you stop very quickly. Okay. Now this car has got ABS, or anti-lock braking system, which would allow you to it allows you to actually push your foot push your foot onto the brake nice and firmly, and keep it there and keep pushing down until the car stops.
Is that firm and progressive braking you're talking about, yeah?
It's firm progressive braking, yes.
Because that's what you said at the beginning.
Yes.
Firm and progressive?
Yes, that's right. Okay.
So I don't just slam the brake down then, yeah?
That's right, you don't slam it, because that'll probably get it into lock the wheels. Yeah. So the anti-lock braking system should allow you to stop, but it does allow you to steer if necessary. Whereas if you don't have anti-lock braking system, you shouldn't steer. You definitely mustn't steer, otherwise you'd send it into a skid. Some cars require that you do put your clutch down before the brake, but you need to check your handbrake for that. You need to check your handbook for that.
Right.
Yeah. You'll probably find it in the handbook as opposed to anywhere else. Any questions on that?
Yeah, so you told me here that I must keep my hands on the wheel,
Yes.
but I mustn't steer
Yes.
because I'll put the car into a skid. But now you're telling me that with anti-lock brakes, I can steer.
Well, you need to learn. You need to learn what you should do with any car. I mean, you may not. The car that you get in the end may not be with may not have ABS braking. It may be. It may not have it. In which case, you definitely mustn't steer. So I'm teaching you that. In this car, if necessary, you can steer. But it's only if necessary. You don't have to steer, and you shouldn't steer unless you need to. Otherwise, you keep your hands firmly on the steering wheel and straight ahead. If you are moving and you need to steer, then you can do it with this car. Okay?
Yeah.
Any questions on that?
Yeah, I'm just well, I'm not 100% sure about this anti-lock brakes. Is it a switch I've got to turn on or something, or because my brother's car hasn't got it, so.
Well, on the dashboard it says ABS, so it means anti-lock braking system. Your brother's car, if it hasn't got it, then what he would do, if you're driving his, or if he does, is you will brake in the same way, which is cadence braking, what we call cadence braking, where you press firmly on the brake, and if the wheels start to skid or they lock, then you take your foot momentarily off the brake and then push it back on again. See, you take it off momentarily just to allow the wheels to start turning again.
All right.
You know, and then push firmly back on, and so that's cadence braking.
All right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I get that. He did actually talk about that to me.
Yeah.
But this anti-lock braking system, do I have to turn the switch on?
No, it's already in place.
So if it actually comes into place, will you tell me that's come into place so I know what it feels like?
Well, you'll know what it feels like because your foot will shake a little bit when you push. If the ABS kicks in, your foot will shake under your foot. The brake pedal will shake under your foot as it kicks in.
Oh, that'd be a bit frightening if I didn't know it, wouldn't it?
It could be frightening, yes. I mean, some people think it's quite nice, but it could be frightening for you. So you want to expect that.
Yeah, because if I didn't know that, I'd probably get a little bit frightened and jump off the brake again, wouldn't I? Thinking I've broken it or something.
That's a possibility. Yeah, it'd be good to know that.
Okay, should we go and get some practice then?
Yeah. Can we just test your reaction? Let's make sure. See if you get your right foot ready. Put it on the gas pedal, not right down. Just touch on the gas pedal. And what I will do is to get you to practice this manoeuvre. I will say stop and put my hand up, but I'll check out the back first, make sure there's nothing there, make sure it's safe. So I'll look out the back. That looks fine. And I'll say stop. And then you want to get your foot from where it is onto the brake and quickly, and then push firmly down. Okay? And just before you stop, I'll say clutch or clutch down. So you want to practice that? Here we go. Stop!
All right.
That was a quick reaction. And in effect, you will push a bit more firmly than that. Let's try that again. Stop! That was a quick reaction, and you press more firmly.
Right.
So that's getting better. That's good. This last time. Stop. Clutch. That's it. And then, well, keep your foot down, and then you'll secure the car, and then you can rest your feet, and we'll take it from there.
Right, we're going to get some practice in?
Yes, let's go and practice.
Right, you're still getting up near 11 minutes, yeah? So let's just have a talk about that briefly. Yeah, it's getting up to 11 minutes. If you just get your book back out again. Have you any idea why it's going to 11 minutes? And yet I'm still having to ask you questions at the end.
I'm adding too much information. Where can I go down?
Well,
This was a bit here.
sorry?
we went on a bit. Well, we discussed this a bit.
Ollie just said here with the steering wheel, keep both hands on the wheel. I wouldn't mention about not steering because you're going to tell me about that on the anti-lock braking. Well, I'm hoping you're going to tell me about that on the anti-lock braking.
Yeah.
The main advantage to anti-lock brakes is the fact that I can actually steer, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, but for the purpose of this exercise today, we're not going to steer, yeah?
Yeah.
So you're giving me a little bit of duff information there, really, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Obviously, if I'm driving a car, and again, I had to push you on having just a little chat about cadence braking. Obviously, if I'm driving a car that hasn't got anti-lock brakes, I can't steer, can I?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. You cannot, that's right.
Yeah, I think you wasted about a minute and a half on telling me about the all-round observations. Yeah, and I think probably you wasted a minute and a half on the last two briefs last week as well, there.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget, you're going to be talking around these. You're going to be talking about these observations anyway. So, you know, when I stop the car, secure the vehicle, check all around me. You know, you're going to tell me that when we're going anyway. Yeah, you're going to tell me where to look.
Yeah. So we weren't going to detail here, just all-round observations.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this will cut a minute of that. And it'll take us down to about 8.5 to 9. Including the consolidation.
Yeah, but when you actually come on to the subject of anti-lock brakes, I don't know why you don't finish it. Yeah, I had to actually push you there, which actually added to the brief, didn't it?
Yeah.
I had to actually push you on that because I wouldn't have a clue what's happening if I did actually activate the anti-lock brakes, would I?
No, you wouldn't know what it
if
feels like.
Yeah, if I was a real learner and that pedal started to vibrate underneath me, I'd be jumping off the pedal thinking I'd broken your car, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So,
that's work in progress in that one, isn't it?
Yes, I must mention that. Yeah, so Tony, secure yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, mirrors should be okay. So when you move off when you're ready.
Alright. What are we doing again?
Doing the emergency stop.
Oh,
sorry,
right, yeah.
we're doing the manoeuvre,
Right.
which I've just briefed about.
Alright. And we're going to turn left at the end, please.
Turn left at the end, Tony.
And we're going to turn right.
And then turn right here, Tony.
And we're going to turn right.
You're going to turn right here, Tony. Stop. Clutch. Okay, secure the car. Right. Sorry. Keep your feet. Secure the car.
I secured it. Oh.
All right. Oh, let's switch on. Well, keep your feet still. Clutch down. Right. Let's put it in first gear. Ready to go and move and just pull over when it's safe on the side.
That's quite good, isn't it?
That was a very good stop. Yeah, the reaction was good, and the braking was very good.
Yeah, you managed to get the handbrake up as well. That helps it to stop, doesn't it?
I wonder.
Ah.
Yes.
Are you amazed at my good stuff with them?
Well, I'm looking. I should have looked at your feet. Okay, so Tony, the idea is not to put on your handbrake before you stop. It's important that you don't put the handbrake on.
Oh, I didn't know that. Sorry, I thought it was going to help me.
No, it might lead us into a skid, because that might well lock the back wheels, and if we're going fast enough or the surface is poor enough, we'll skid. So that's important that you don't use the handbrake. We did stop very quickly, I have to say, but we'll have to do with just the handbrake and then clutch down near the end. It's important not to use the handbrake, because you will skid, and if you skid, we might overturn, or we might slew into the path of another car, and the consequences could be an accident and perhaps some damage.
Right.
So it's really important that you don't use the handbrake.
Right.
Okay. So, but how did you feel your stop went, besides the handbrake?
Well, I've never done one before. I felt it quite exciting to me.
Okay. It's exciting, but it's
Yeah,
important.
multitasking there, wasn't I?
Yes, you were. We'll try and stick to just the routine, which is that the handbrake only goes on near once you stopped, and we secure the car.
No, I didn't know that. Sorry.
Okay, I didn't tell you. Didn't see no. So, would you like to prepare the car to move in first gear, and don't go until I say?
Sorry.
Would you like to prepare the car to move? Prepare to move.
I know it's prepared.
Okay, don't go until I say, because you need to do all our observations. Make sure, because we've got to make it safe.
Oh, no, my observations pulling away from the curb.
Okay.
George, what was in that bacon sandwich you had at lunchtime? We've already parked by the curb, haven't we? We've done the emergency stop,
Yeah.
and then you told me to drive on and park.
Okay. Well, move off when you're ready.
And we're going to take the next turning to the right.
And take the next turning on the right, Tony. Tony, remember that as we're driving along, and do you say stop? There's an emergency. We're going to do the manoeuvre. You need
Want me to stop now?
No, sorry. You need to not look at the mirror. There won't be time. You need to keep your hands on the wheels. Keep your hand on the steering wheel.
All right.
And I'll tell you when to put the clutch down. Stop. Clutch. I guess secure the car.
All right.
Okay, and prepare to move. Don't go yet. And check all round observation. Check over your left shoulder.
Oh, left shoulder.
Yeah,
All right.
all round observations.
Oh, yeah.
All right. What's on the curb back there behind me? What's on the curb?
Oh, one of those little Fiats.
And curbs here. Anyone moving? Any pedestrians mainly?
No.
Okay, in front of you.
No.
Right on the right curb beyond this car.
I can
Beyond
see
this
this car here.
Okay, and you can move off when you're ready and pull over on the left.
I'll stand a bit further.
Okay.
How's that?
So that's a very good stop, and you didn't use the handbrake, so that was good.
Right, just coming out of road a minute. Why did I use the handbrake in the first one then?
Because I hadn't told you the mantra, and I didn't explain in the brief.
You did actually explain in the brief, didn't you? But what's said in the brief goes out the window when the engine started, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when we done it twice last week, you used a mantra, didn't you?
Yeah.
You didn't use that mantra, so therefore I told you the one bit that I would still probably play up with is the mirrors, yeah?
Yes.
But if you used the mantra, I probably wouldn't have touched the handbrake.
Yeah.
But you didn't use the mantra, so you left
Yeah.
an open door for me there. On the first one, actually, I nearly stuck in every fault I could, really.
Mm.
I got the handbrake on, at the same time looking in the mirrors. You said men can't multitask?
Oh, the multitask.
And I got the clutch down too early as well, yeah? And then I got the clutch back off again.
Yeah.
And then I managed to, well, you instructed me to drive away without taking any observations, yeah?
Yes.
And then on that one there, that we just stopped just now, how was the stop to you?
Well, it's a quick stop. You pressed the brake firmly. You didn't use the handbrake.
No, I did look in the mirrors though, didn't I?
You did look in the mirrors.
So where were you looking?
I was, well, at your feet or somewhere, but I wasn't looking at your face.
Right, so then you told me to look all around me,
Mm.
and you pushed me to look over my left shoulder,
Mm.
and you asked me what I could see. You asked me what I could see here. You asked me what I could see ahead. You asked me what I could see out the right window. Did you get me to look at over the, in between the head restraint and the door pillar, which is the blind spot?
No.
I think I remember on the brief you told me it was really important to look there, didn't you?
Yep, I did. Well,
Right.
It's going to save the day. I'm going to start the engine. Let's move off when you're ready. So Tony, it's important that you keep looking ahead. Don't look at the mirrors. There won't be time. Keep your hands on the wheel, on the steering wheel. And I'll tell you when to put the clutch down. Stop.